If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like It or Not starts now.
Because it's like it or not, we're like it or
We're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it. How you doing this morning, Ben?
I am blessed and highly favored. How are you doing, Queen?
I am doing all right. I am recovering from last night's snorebore racist Trump rally. And that was a snore fest. Oh my God. But at the same time, it was like, this is a racist rally, and it's actually a business meeting for rich folks in America, where they're figuring out how to pawn America off to the highest bidder, and taking all the pieces of it that's left that they didn't even build to give to whoever wants to purchase it. But we had the State of the Union address yesterday evening, and it was the longest in the history of presidents at 99 minutes with Donald Trump. And he didn't tell you how he was going to bring down the price of eggs. He didn't tell you how he was going to get the gas to be more affordable or the housing to really be more affordable. He didn't say anything about getting your grandma back her Medicaid or anything of that sort. But he did say that if you're rich, you can come into this country. He did say that he will start to do business with allies who essentially are enemies. Were once enemies of America. He did say that police officers will be given more opportunity to kill, if I will. He did say, that we can essentially walk around some way, shape, or form and report whoever looks like, you don't know if they are, but looks like they can be an immigrant, especially Middle Eastern. He did say that basically if you're poor, if you're Black, person of color, but if you're Black, if you're an immigrant, if you are somebody who's on the right side of things, watch out for the next 4 years.
That part.
And then the Democrats, which we will talk about later, if we can talk about it now, however, but Democrats did not, to me, stand up. They didn't do what they needed to do. If they're never in unison, they're never on one accord, at least the right, even people who were getting bashed by Donald Trump in real time in the State of the Union, in the office. And Marco Rubio sat there and allowed Donald Trump to rip him a new one, but still stood up and clapped and did all the things. Those people can stand together. Democrats just be all over the place. Elizabeth Warren, he looked at you in your face and called you Pocahontas. And you thought doing the Nancy Pelosi clap was going to give you, and that was 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, even into 2020. We had to deal with that. And here y'all are doing the same things, thinking the only person, Representative Al Green, or excuse me, Congressman Al Green, let's get it right, stood up. That Florida A&M grad stood up.
Oh, I didn't know he was a rattler.
Absolutely.
Right.
And was a rattler and got one good leg. And with that cane, had to slow motion, but we got it. Try to forcefully put it in the air. And what instead what he needed to say with the little voice he got left that he been using to yell all the years this man been serving. Powerful photo. And the Democrats still chose to sit there. Yes, they chose to walk Congressman Green out. And I know that Congresswoman what's her name? Crockett decided, she ain't going and did a whole spiel, dancing spiel on social media with it. And I feel like everybody's in different directions. There's no togetherness within the Democratic Party. I feel like if there was going to be any message sent, if nobody was going to show up, I don't care how people would feel about it. If none of the Democratic reps showed up, then that would have been a stronger, to me, message. If y'all do it, then do it. If y'all gonna do it, then do it. If y'all all came together and decided one by one to keep getting up while he was talking, some of them were leaving and getting out. It wasn't giving strong messages. You on your little piece of paper, sis, or your small board, baby. We've been doing that since 2016. We gotta let the old ways go because they don't work. That bipartisanship, that sitting there and going higher and higher and higher. You gotta go low. You gotta go right underneath hell.
That's right.
For these people.
That's right.
So shame on them. And the response, I fell asleep, baby. I said, I'm sorry, I gotta go. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even watch. You didn't watch this? Or the response?
I watched Star Trek last night. I wasn't giving that man.
I'm happy you did. I'm happy you did.
Giving that man my energy. I knew I had to talk about it today. So I said, I'll wait, I'll catch it. I mean, what when you go to a Nazi rally, you know what Hitler's going to say, and so I already knew what he was going to say, but I do love the way you're breaking it down. What would have been Democrats.
Come on.
Democrats. What you just said is so true, Rebecca. If you all know what we are dealing with, and we are clearly dealing with it, you can't go through the motions of normality. This is not normal. Get your butt up and walk out. Or do what Al Green. I
know, right? Every time.
Not that Al Green, but Representative Congressman Al Green. Shout out to FAMU, because I'm not even gonna lie. I don't rock with y'all like that. Hell Wildcats, but shout out to FAMU for producing the one man, the one individual who stood up in that thing and stared fascism face to face. Like, you don't get more direct. I don't care what happens in history. This photo is going to be remembered because he was the only person who stood up face to face and was physically removed because he stood up to fascism. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Rebecca.
No, you didn't cut me off. I actually wanted to see what you saw yesterday. I know you didn't watch it. And a lot of people actually, good to mention that. And I ain't even mad at it because there were a lot of people who have big platforms that decided to stream simultaneously as the State of the Union address to protect their health and protect the health of the Black people. Some people were making big appearances. The Terrell Show was interviewing Danny B. I know that the 100 Black women, I want to say it's 100 Black women, but the women that got together to raise $1 million for
Black women.
Yes, Win with Black women. They decided to do a 24-hour like a telethon. Different content creators just streaming all day. Shout out to Reese and Receipts with Reese is one of my faves. But shout out to all the people who decided that in that time that they would just do other content, cover other news, put joyful things out there. But there was so much places for people to go during that time. And Donald Trump, let's be clear, when he decided to you gotta see. I wish you would have watched it, but I had to struggle with Leftist Mafia. We were struggling to get through it, but watching the mannerisms of the right. I don't know if we have any more other B-roll than our good brother, Al Green. Two phenomenal Al Greens in the Black community, and one is Congressman Al Green. But the way that they had said to him, I wish we can play it without any issue. I'm not sure, C-SPAN or whatever, but in that moment when they were bringing him out, they stated, and I want to know what he really said. And we can play this too. We can play this too. But I want to know what he really said when he was being sent out. Play this, and I'm gonna go into it. I gotta plug in the computer before it shuts down.
Punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against this president's desire to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security.
Were you saying you have no mandate? Is that what you just said?
That's what he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. None.
It's low, Ben. Could you bring up the volume a little bit by chance?
Unfortunately, that's as high as it goes. So
okay.
Different one, but go ahead.
Okay. So I was gonna say, I don't know what he just said. He said he had no mandate. That's what he was actually saying.
They have no mandate to cut Social Security, Medicare.
Yeah, he was saying that within the everybody had what their stance was on, and that was one for Al Green, and amongst other things. He's saying basically that none of this is policy, you guys. None of the things that Donald Trump he was naming thing after thing after thing. We saw politicizing families' pains of their children who've been murdered. We saw, of course, the exploitation of so many people, Black people, the ones or the twos that support Donald Trump. We saw a lot of exploitation going on. Let's be clear. This is not policy. And I want y'all to stick with me here. And I'll be saying this probably throughout the next 4 years. This is not policy, but this is propaganda. You guys have to keep the reason why Congressman Al Green is saying this is not a mandate, because they're putting this under the guise of it being some executive order, some policy, something that is the American way. Well, the American way is to strip people of things and to say that this is policy when this is just what the right wants. These are evil things. These are things that are built under, or things that are being placed out of racist mindsets, out of racist behavior, out of white nationalism, out of Nazi people getting together to bring these things to the forefront. And just because Donald Trump says it does not mean it is policy. But they're going by Project 2025. They're going by the book. They're going by their basic instructions. So when we see people like Congressman doing it all by his lonesome, somebody should have been out there. Somebody should have been out there having his back. I don't want to see y'all with the little signs. I remember back in the day when they weren't even out here. I remember back in 2016, there was some more audacity up in the room. People was up in there with heavy, big old signs. And I'll say this. When Congressman Al Green stated what he said, talking about the mandate, put up his cane with the gold trim. And pointed at Donald Trump. What you see here in this picture is him still standing. And the reason why, and I wish we had that video, the reason why the racist Care Bear, JD Vance, and I don't know, I can't deal with what's his name next to him.
Which one? Johnson, the Speaker of the House?
Yes, the Speaker of the House. Something about him don't sit right with me. It just don't. It's just racism. It's just walking rape. They all look the same, but the racist kid, look at him. Y'all can't tell me. Somebody said that online and I can't unsee it. JD Vance looks like a racist Care Bear. And I said, every time somebody says woke indoctrination, his belly glows. It's just evil, like just out of him. But anywho, yeah, Care Bears are sweet people. That's why I feel like this man once was a person, and you can see that he's dead inside. You can literally look at this person and see that they sold their soul and everything about themselves. He is dead inside. Anywho, where I was going this. So when Congressman Al Green got up, what happened was the two behind them, and I wish we get that video, Ben. Try to
finish describing it, and I'll go find it.
Okay, so they got up and they were like, the Speaker of the House was read and said if there's no decorum, then they should be let out by armed forces, whatever he was saying.
The Sergeant Arm. That's this video.
Yeah, okay, play it.
Okay, hang on. Actually, no, that's not that video.
Because I want you guys to actually hear it's the audience for me.
Yeah.
It's the audience for me that I want you guys to hear. Disrespectful. Absolutely. They sing na 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 hey.
No, I don't have that part.
Oh, they sang that as he began to walk out. They sang that. Then while they sang that, that's when they get up and they start clapping. They say, "Get out of here." One little guy that we will now know his name. He did all the little, to me, Nazi signs, KKK signs, whatever, and told him to get on out of here. Get that boy on out of here, kind of way. And then to me, I could have sworn I heard somebody say ER.
Oh,
I could have sworn.
let's look at this one.
Any sound?
You don't have any sound on that either.
No.
Okay. What is going on today? Okay. Yeah, it's lost my audio. But keep going, Rebecca. I gotta reset my audio. Go for it.
No problem. So I say that to say, also me getting online, which I do want you to once we play the video, because I really want to focus on he deserves his own segment right now. But seeing after this moment, going online this morning, I'm not on Twitter anymore. I tend to take Threads off because Threads had become a place too where people are on there and they're all disrespectful towards one another, and then they scream and cry about people being disrespectful towards them. It's very weird. Mean girls energy, how they say now, whatever, all over the timeline. However, I will say, once this moment happened, I got on Twitter today to communicate with Ben because, he don't communicate any other way. He don't got a phone. But I got on there to communicate with Ben and let him know what time I'll be on. And the first thing I see is a tweet from somebody who is Black. And we'll put that up when Ben gets back. But a tweet from somebody who said, and he said, "Hey, white people, this is what we call a house." Nigger. And when I went into the comment section, my heart started to feel like it was palpitating because it was white people who are commentators, who are journalists, who are your doctors, your lawyers, all of those people, your aviators, all of these people who were in the comment section who didn't care. And one in particular, a woman, she was saying, she said, I can't say this, but I'll repost it. Once again, it said, hello, white people. This is Representative Al Green, and he is what we call a house nigga. Now go into the comment section. Look at these people. Whoever Kylie J, I had to go and click on everybody. Whoever these people are. She literally said she's a Women for America First, white, March for Trump, official host of Save America rally on January 6th.
January 6th.
I can't say it, but I can repost it. And this person who's Black says, "Thank you for helping get the word out, the truth out there."
You got to know about Dom Lucre. Dom Lucre is the Black pet of MAGA who spreads all the ridiculous, like, he got suspended off Twitter for sharing child sexual abuse material.
Wow.
And Elon Musk personally reinstated him.
But look at go back up to 4 days ago. I think something he wrote that Elon Musk did not he didn't get his money back. So he put where Elon Musk, I think it's a pinned on his page. He said something he wrote Elon Musk and said, "You said you were gonna reinstate my monetization. It's been 4 days or something since I've gotten my monetization." And he's trying to come at Elon Musk, and Elon hasn't responded to him, left him on red.
See, he's gotta get his. He was making some good money because he was the guy who was spreading all the he's a bottom feeder, to be honest with you. He's like, as a Black man,
he's a Candace Owens, but Candace Owens looks more put together. It be the people who have the audacity to have dreads, and you can tell that God said no because all of what's around his hairline is going away. The dreads are holding on, not by faith but by hate, and we know that's but this much. It's just hanging, popping off. But he posts things about people, and it's Black people. So you know how they do. If Black people are on the right and they talk about Black people, it makes it so that white people can say, but Dom said this, but Candace Owens said this, but such and such said this. I don't even like when they use us on this side, on whatever side they want to say we're on, but on this side of things, when they say, well, Ben said this, and hey, Rebecca said this. No, but do you believe that though? Have you talked to your cousins and them, Sally? Are you really practicing this? I would love to know. Go ahead, Ben.
This
Did
is
we get the video?
You know, I put up Laverne Spicer. She's another black MAGA who, look what she said. She said, y'all can call them whatever dirty name you want. Y'all have the end pass tonight.
Wow.
She's the same one. And it's so funny. She's quoting this guy, Joey Manorano. Turns out Joey runs that account. Joey runs the Laverne Spicer account. She's a real black person, but she turned over her account to him. And so he gets to. So we don't know if this is her saying this or if it's her manager, Joey Manorano, saying this. But
it's still bad. It's bad either way.
It's bad either way. And it just shows you that there's going to always be some Negroes out there who say, hey, whatever you white folks want to say, let me say it for you. Just write me a check.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is why I am saying we have to stand firm, right? I know I took my time. But I'm looking at things right now. And I said, how? The more that they want this to happen, for us to be feeling overwhelmed and, just exhausted with everything that's going on, so that when we get online, all them hours and days that we've taken off, the people who are giving misinformation or who are spewing out hate and making it normalized, are the ones that are at the forefront of the conversation. And we're in just a moment too late. And so find your way around it. And like I said, I just think that our duty and our job right now is to not, because we are not doing the news like we did back in 2016, 2017, 2018. We're doing it not even in 2020 to today. This time around, we know what the assignment is. And we have to stand firm in what the assignment is. We cannot let, because when I got online and I saw that, again, I had heart palpitations. I said, Lord, I have not been on here to read or to see none of these kind of comments in a while. And here I am seeing how people are going back. I mean, it never left, but here we are, open arms, Nazi salutes, ERs all over the place. These are people who are, their jobs are not going to be at risk. These people are going to get promotions for their hatefulness. And this is why we got to be vigilant. Don't let these people play in your face. I ain't saying fight them, but I'm saying, like, Democrats should have stood up, baby. Like they did on January 6th. Democrats should have had the same energy that they had in January 6th when these people was hiring, paying, telling these folks, motivating them to go to your office, take away your security button from underneath your desk, deactivate that, to take the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's laptop, to leave feces on your desk, to leave behind some kind of witch ritual with blood, writing in blood, taking photo ops at y'all stuff. Y'all should have been standing up and causing a ruckus, and everybody should have been let out. We're talking about, y'all want to talk about boycotts. Y'all want to yell, y'all want to scream, y'all want to get online and do these dance videos. And shout out to Jasmine Crocker, who I do love, right? Love her. But I think that we should be doing more. I don't want us to make ourselves go viral like we were doing during the Biden administration, just doing videos and getting caught up in what looks good. And all. We got an actual fight here. That man said that they have some in this year of Donald Trump, or in the last few months, or last month, or however it was, so many people have decided to sign up for the army. Do you think that's by coincidence? Something is coming. And y'all got to be clear about this. I am not trying to be, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I'm not trying to do, I know I was on the board last February. I was, with the people who were saying we got to stop fear mongering. I'm not fear mongering. You guys are missing who's doing the fear mongering. The right is doing the fear mongering. All lies, all propaganda. What we're trying to do is give you guys the truth about what they're saying. Actually, give you the reverse about what they're saying. Give you the other side of it. And What they are doing is making it seem like they're letting people believe that we are fear mongering. And if I give you the truth about the plane crashes, right? If I tell you that the plane crashes are actually less than they were years ago, you like even for last year or the year before that, they're less than they were right now in this month or in this quarter. You guys will be like, oh, no, no. Listen, guys, they're the ones doing the fear mongering, making you fear what's happening right now. So Donald Trump can do what he did before with Twitter, which we saw he do with other things. Swoop in and say he saved it, not Twitter, with TikTok. Swoop in and say he saved it. He's going to try to justify his reason for firing the people for the aviation protocol, aviation safety, all those things. For your pilots and all this other stuff, so that he can say, look what happened then under Joe Biden, or when I had to take it from Joe Biden, and look what's happening now. Y'all got to be careful with this. Y'all got to be careful with the fear mongering. They want you to not go to do XYZ. They want it to actually be real that federal workers are not doing their job. Yesterday, that was a point that he made, that federal workers are not doing their jobs at all. So he wants to clean house and put in his own. He said that yesterday. So y'all federal workers, stand firm. Don't let that man take your job. It's not policy. It's propaganda. It's fear mongering. It's not policy. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
I was saying the last thing they need to do is quit, right? But some of them have been quitting, but not all of them. So it's a good percentage of them who are staying, federal workers. Donald Trump lost this morning with the Supreme Court, which was a surprise, and MAGA's losing their mind. But this goes to say, what you're talking about. It's not policy, it's propaganda. The majority of what he's tried to do, half of it hasn't been possible because he doesn't have the power to do it, right? He's talking about he wants to get rid of the 14th Amendment. He can't get rid of the 14th Amendment with an executive order. That's propaganda. That's not policy. Exactly like what you're saying, right? And so with the Supreme Court, he tried to cut the decision this morning. They revoked. They pushed it back and put a stay on his ability to cut the $2 billion in funding from USAID to all the organizations. One of the organizations, I know I'm going into some details here, but I just want people to understand how evil these folks are. One of the funding cuts that they made to USAID was to cut treatment for HIV in several nations around the world, where the United States were helping these underfunded nations treat HIV patients with PrEP. And anybody who knows anything about PrEP, the most successful treatment out there, where you can literally take it and get your levels so low that you won't infect the next person, right? They snatched that funding, and immediately, because they snatched that funding, there were people who had medication that was removed. Thankfully, the Supreme Court this morning reinstated that specific funding along with others. And so now we're at the stage where, okay, right. So it was proper. He tried to do it. He tried to make a policy, but now the Supreme Court said no. And so now what we have to face and see is Donald Trump going to ignore his own Supreme Court? Because the majority of that court is conservative. He appointed 3 of the justices. And so it is propaganda. It's majority propaganda. If you go issue by issue by issue with what he's tried to do, it has been blocked because he doesn't have the authority to do it. The stuff that he is doing, though, is very destructive. He instituted those tariffs on Canada, on Mexico, and on China. And every one of our prices on everything is getting ready to go up.
Absolutely. The tariff situation is ridiculous. We have other things I really want to cover before we get out of here too, Ben. The tariffs, of course, the response from Justin Trudeau. And I wanted to get into his exchange with Zelensky as well. So please, we definitely need to discuss that. But more points before we get out of here. I had wrote some down. Hold on. And that is a great point about people's, our health. That particular drug can make people undetectable.
Right.
And almost like literally undetectable. And I don't think it's only for people who are part of the LGBTQI community, which is, what it's also targeted for. But a lot of people should be on these types of, things like just if you're a sexually active person, you know,
Right.
however, whatever, just make sure. And these are things that could definitely help Americans. This can, with the rising rates of people, you know, passing away or just getting the virus or even other diseases that are sexually, you know, transmitted. But I say all this to say, he's attacking your health care.
Yep.
He's attacking your household in more ways than you know. He's attacking your livelihood, your children, your parents' access to Medicaid. He's attacking all of these things. And y'all complained and said that you voted him in because of eggs. And he ain't mentioned how he gonna rise that, how he gonna lower that. I went to the store the other day and want no eggs, but I did look at the price of no eggs that were there. I look at the price tags, $10. $10 for eggs. It went higher from when he said that he was going to lower them. And here he is telling you that you will have to pay more because he done put tariffs on the places that you was getting your Temu items from. Your Shein dresses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most of all, the tariffs on places like Canada are electric relationship. Right? So imagine the electric grid, all those things are no longer, because Donald Trump said that he said that he will double, if not the tariffs on China. He is playing with it tit for tat. Mind you, Donald Trump is the one that put these tariffs in place. In yesterday's State of the Union address, he made it seem verbally that the people put the tariffs in place. And he stated that as they continue to, you know, make the prices go up, he's going to go ahead and limit them as well. And he'll double it. That's what he said. Tit for tat. Something that he created. He's blaming the other people for having a response to.
Mm-hmm.
America can't get away with this type of behavior. Go ahead, Ben. I'm looking.
Want to hear this? This is is this actually, it's probably not even sharing on your screen, is it?
Okay,
Okay.
it's not. If you were looking at, if there was any B-roll, I was just running my mouth and there wasn't nothing but your face looking.
You know,
it was
hey,
nothing but your face looking for something.
you can tell I was looking. I was like, search.
Okay, it's just me. It's me in the B-roll now.
Here's Justin Trudeau. What you were speaking about. Here we go.
Go ahead. It's just, but it's just me.
No, that's fine. I got you.
Okay.
Well, good.
Their closest partner and ally, their closest friend. At the same time, they're talking about working positively with Russia, appeasing Vladimir Putin, a lying, murderous dictator. Make that make sense. Canadians are reasonable and we are polite, but we will not back down from a fight. Not when our country and the well-being of everyone in it is at stake. At the moment, the US tariffs came into effect in the early hours of this morning, and so did the Canadian response. Canada will be implementing 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods. So today, the United States...
There it is. I like, first of all, Black culture is everywhere. Make that make sense. Make it make sense.
It's true. It's true. It's true. And he did the, what are they calling it? The millennial pause. He did the millennial pause after he said, make that make sense. Because you got to let him sit with it. You got to let him marinate a little bit. But you think that America is the only one that speaks and does things? There are people who are in leadership that said, try it.
And find
F around and find out. Okay? And Justin Trudeau is one of those people. Do we like all the things that he does? No. But is this to me a great response to Donald Trump's behavior and not bowing down in between his nutsack to literally live there?
You got the way I say it is they prostrate. You know, that's what when you worship, you bow down, you prostrate before Trump's prostate, right? So that's the way you get it in there without saying the nutsack. You say he prostrates before the prostate.
Well, There's a pastor who's well known and who loves the Lord. And he said, hanging from the testicles.
Swinging from his.
I said, oh my God, on a Sunday? People are mad. The church is shaking up, even though the church I go to, Love It Mina, he slides in and he says little things, against Donald Trump. But then he says, he's not. He says his God is the president. He'll go back to that, but he'll mention a couple of things like y'all need to get ready for what's about to happen.
Yeah,
y'all need to be smart enough to understand what's about to happen. Y'all want to see? It said show Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum's response.
Thankfully, she spelled that last name like Shein. So
it's Sheinbaum. Is it Sheinbaum? Is it Sheinbaum?
I don't know. I'm just thinking spelling wise. It was I had to remember it real quick to go Google it, but I found it. This is her response, and I just lost that tab. Finish your thought, Rebecca.
So what I was saying is basically, look, because what I'm saying, Donald Trump thinks that nobody is scared of him. Donald Trump thinks that he needs to be not only Donald Trump, Elon Musk. Nobody really cares about JD Vance, but JD Vance is problematic because we can see that he is not afraid of lying.
That's right.
Lying. He's the vice president of the United States, and he said that he will continue to push out misinformation if that's what it means to get America's attention to do what Donald Trump wants. Kneel to the nuts. Okay. That's good. Ben, if you're watching it yourself, we the people.
Oh, you don't see it on the screen?
We the people, we can see it, but we can't hear not a thing.
You can't hear a thing.
We can't hear a thing. Ben over there, Ben was enjoying it. Look, you put your hand back and began to enjoy.
I was like, look, and it's in Spanish.
Que
so
nosotros siempre
buscaremos
so una solución negociada. La Casa Blanca publicó un comunicado ofensivo, difamatorio y sin sustento sobre el gobierno de México, que negamos rotundamente y condenamos categóricamente. Quiero dejar claro el día de hoy que nosotros siempre buscaremos una solución negociada, como lo hemos propuesto, en el marco del respeto a nuestras soberanías. Pero la decisión unilateral que tome Estados Unidos afecta a las empresas nacionales y extranjeras que operan en nuestro país y afecta a nuestros pueblos. Por ello, hemos decidido responder con medidas arancelarias y no arancelarias que anunciaré en plaza pública el próximo domingo. La Casa Blanca publicó un comunicado.
Everybody was reading and who doesn't speak Spanish, but there you go. I think they really do believe exactly what you said. I think Donald Trump believes that being the president of the United States gives him the unlimited bully power. Here's the thing. The president of the United States has a lot of power. No doubt, no question about it. The most powerful man on the face of the planet. But that's with that comes other nations who have power as well. Is there any nation on the face of the planet that can by themselves destroy the United States of America? No, but why are we even in that conversation now? Why is the nature of our conversations whether or not the United States of America can fight off every one of our former allies? And it's crazy we even have to call them former allies, right? Canada, Mexico, the UK, all of these, Ukraine, all of these nations that the United States of America has been allied with for decades. Now, all of a sudden, underneath Donald Trump, we're having to ask ourselves, can those nations defend themselves against what Donald Trump is aggressively trying to do to them?
So like, I feel that these people have audacity in these other countries, and it ain't really audacity. It's like they already been that. But Donald Trump and his, not only Donald Trump, people before Donald Trump too, they've been doing this for a long time. American politicians in themselves have curated some kind of view of outside leaders for people in America to stay dumb, but for people in America to believe that everyone else, every leadership in America has no say, will not do, and will always bow down at the leadership of America. And that's not the truth. You have now, especially in 2025, you have leaders that say, hey, yo, who he talking to? Turn the mic on. Is the mic on? Put me in camera 2. because he's going to hear this. He's going to feel this. We're going to remove a lot of the things that, oh, we're allies when it comes to this. We're allies when it comes to this. Yeah, that's done. Cut that. We ain't doing that. There are people who are doing that right now because Donald Trump thought because he relies on him being a businessman, and that's how he functions in his presidency, and that's how his relationship with Elon Musk is. Elon Musk was, and this is my opinion and mine alone, but I think that Elon Musk was able to buy himself into the presidency because he acts like the president sometimes, most times when we see him, but was able to buy himself a space into the 2025 administration, right? I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know. I really don't know. But he's done enough chaos with Donald Trump, bringing back the Charlottesville, remember that? North Carolina energy almost immediately. And it's almost as if we attacked these people's monuments. Remember when that happened in Donald Trump's first few days in 2016? And that we haven't even attacked no monuments. We haven't even had a chance to attack anything white. They've already said it's been too much. They've already been the attack on media is crazy. I had I give this story to tell you why I got demonetized real quick, which is what I know. I've had to for the last year, every month and a half, sometimes every 3 weeks, my page gets hit because of this show and because of the leftist mafia. They don't believe, because I'm covering politics and things, that this is I am on these shows. I am a host on these shows. So they'll write me in and I'll have to send in a video, and I've done that, right? Each time. So I save the same video because every time I send the video, maybe a week or less than a week later, they'll say, we're sorry, we made a mistake. This is indeed you in the videos. This is indeed your work, and yada, yada. This time around, I said, God, I don't know what's going to happen when I send this video in, but I'm feeling away. And the person said, no, you didn't give enough information to prove that it's basically you. And the reviewer said, you didn't give enough information to prove that it was you. And it lets me feel like this is a part of the attack on media. You don't know who your YouTube reviewer is going to be. You don't know when they're reviewing your page if they're going to see something that they do not like. You don't know. And in this period of time, while they're attacking us in the media space, I don't know how we can save our stuff or however, but Donald Trump is allowing for these places that were once considered progressive, free thinking, free speech, all the things. They're all now bowing down to Trump and our mainstream media specifically. I'm going to do a story on that to cover MSNBC's history of doing that. And, now with Donald Trump, we watched even CNN for years cut back, not because they were overwhelmed. It's because of the push that Donald Trump is giving them. If you do not stop, I will do XYZ. Donald Trump has a certain power where he can connect with somebody who can put fear into these mainstream media platforms or however. But I tell you to say, we are in trying times right now. Not to make you scared, but especially people who are working in this space overtime to bring you the truth. They are going to attack our platforms the most. Mine been being attacked, of course, because they can't understand why I am who I am. But they are going to come for a lot of us who do this work and our channels and things of that sort. So if they can do it at a mainstream media level, what is a YouTube channel?
Oh, easier. That's what it is. It's easier and it's more precise. They put the algorithm on us, right? They write a couple lines of code. I don't know if they've been doing this to us in particular on our channel. Like I haven't been demonetized, but they don't have to demonetize you when they can kill your channel, right? When they suppress your channel so much. And so when you look at between the suppression that we're getting on this channel, the demonetization on your channel, the all-out suppression, like I'm got to be the most suppressed person on X, right? Out of my 150,000, and not to mention every day, Elon is in there snatching out 1,000 followers every day, just taking away your followers, right? Meanwhile, you have 150,000 followers, but literally 30 people see your tweet. You know what I mean? Like, they do it with the precision of the algorithm now. You forget about us. Let's look at other channels, like even like Sam Cedar over at the Majority Report, one of the biggest channels, still under the same kind of suppression when you look at what they do for MAGA. The algorithm on YouTube has been amplifying right-wing supremacists since YouTube has been in existence. And so when you mentioned we don't know who our reviewers are, I was thinking what came to my mind was you probably got reviewed by somebody who's MAGA.
That's exactly, and it was crazy because something shot up in my spirit when I sent the video in, and I was like, for the first time, they're going to reject it. They're going to push back, and they're going to, and then, I didn't even get to the best part of the story. I said, let me try and reach out, because they told me that I'm not going to be able to do to get my page back monetized. Mind you, I have money in it, and I won't be able to get that. I won't be able to get that money at all. And so until June, I have to reapply, which is
in June.
Right? In June, beginning of June, end of May, beginning of June. And that's the time frame that they gave me. And I said, okay, let me go ahead and try to write them. I go to write them, and I keep putting in my YouTube link. It says, put your YouTube link in. I go to write them. It says my YouTube doesn't exist. So I said, am I tripping? So I copy and paste it. It doesn't exist. So then I write it out manually. It keeps saying your YouTube page does not exist. And I said, I'm looking at it. I'm currently streaming the State of the Union with Leftist Mafia on it.
And you can't even find your own channel.
And I can't. It was they couldn't. They kept saying my platform does not exist, because that's the only way that I could talk to somebody is if my platform exists. And that's how I knew that's how they're suppressing people. So people who are getting suppressed, they can't even communicate. So what I did was go into the back end. I put that I had like a slight issue, just, about what I wanted to, I needed ideas. And I said, I need to speak with somebody about ideas for the page. All of a sudden, the same thing, I put the same exact information, but I just said the reason was different. It was working. They do not want you to go in and challenge them about your account anymore for that reason. So they say your account doesn't exist and you can't speak to anybody. So I went and I said to a different reason. I go in, and this guy says, hello, my name is Adam. I said, oh, thank you, Jesus. Look at that. That's crazy. Get in there, because God gave me provision. Get in there and strategy. Get in there. And the man says, I looked at your page and it all seems to be you. Can you just provide me with some information? I said, I did. He's like, yeah, this is all your work. Nothing here seems to be a reuse of anything. And even in the video you sent, nothing seems to be a reuse. It's all your work. So he says, I'm going to send you information, an email for you to reach out to me directly and send information to me. And then I can reappeal for you. Y'all see what people gonna have to be doing? What if I just gave up on the other? Because I said, I'm not going to be doing this work where they make me feel that I don't get the opportunity to do the work, and not that this work also help feed me. So I think it's ridiculous how they're going to really make people feel like I told the man, I said, this is going to hit the morale of a lot of content creators, the way that you guys are doing your whole, like the whole system here, when they have to appeal or however, and then the system is saying that they can't get in the system, yada yada. So this is going to hurt a lot of morale for content creators who are going to leave the platform. But I think that's what is wanted, right? Yeah. For that, because they want it to be the same way that Donald Trump swear he saves TikTok. Meanwhile, he's the one that put the ban in place, and he's the one that saved TikTok. All of a sudden, a lot of people who were covering this type of content, they were getting hits that they never got before on TikTok when it came back. A lot of the content that they were getting paid for was now pulled from the app. Things that were against Donald Trump, things that were against JD Vance, things that spoke against Elon Musk were being throttled. When Threads first came out, there was so many people right? Who are coming to me, things of that sort. I could post something on Threads right now. It was crazy how it's a stark difference before Donald Trump's presidency and after Donald Trump's presidency. Anything that I post is throttled unless I'm speaking against Black people or I'm speaking, and by speaking against Black people, that means calling another Black person out for doing something that is, to me, anti-Black, or saying anything. They will repost it. They will put it out into the atmosphere when I'm being an angry Black woman. Other than that,
listen, we're dealing with this is a whole new landscape, right? There is a subset of people that they will allow to oppose Donald Trump and still make and get all their views. But there's a particular brand of Blackness and a particular brand of progressivism. Let me give you an example. So what happened to you, right? What's happening to me and my channels everywhere, right? So it is anti-Black. It's a specific anti-Black, Black liberation, people who are unified in the Black diaspora, right? But if you're just a Black person and you're just talking politics, you might get, you get some views. But then if you are a white person and you speak out in favor of Gaza, you're gonna get your channel. You're gonna get your channel shot down. Like ask our sister. I'm sorry, not our sister, but ask our gender nonconforming friend. I am Blakely, right? They shot down their channel. Like pop, monetization, killed it. And so there is a very specific ideology, worldview that YouTube, as well as Twitter, as well as Facebook, as well as the Democratic Party, does not want to get out. And in your voice, my voice, people like I am Blakely, their voices, those are the voices that they simply cannot allow to get traction. David Packman, on the other hand, he gonna keep, he get invited to the White House. And I used to be, good friends with David. Used to use his studio all the time. No, it's what it is. I firmly disagree. Like, we probably ain't gonna ever speak again because of Gaza. But therein lies the thing, right? If you're a very specific type of progressive, liberal, Democrat, you can get some traction. You can make some views, but not if you really speaking truth to power.
And see, every day, I don't wake up and want to not do that, though. That's the thing. I'm like, God, why you ain't give me the spirit of Candace so I can make a coin? But I don't ever wake up with that spirit. I wake up with, I can't and I won't. There's nothing in me that wants me to. We've been doing this for so long. And Ben, I'm telling you right now, I will be damned if this will not be my focus for the next year.
Like, why would you go and do something else? Let me. Why would you go and do, like, of course you got to feed
because the bills.
You got to. I ain't talking about it that way, right? So you're gonna do what you got to do to keep the bills paid, just like me. We out here hustling these streets, ain't making not hardly any money off of this content. But why would we stop doing this content when this is the exact voice they want to suppress? And this is why YouTube can't let it get any traction. Because here's the thing: like, people in their right mind, they understand that person out there that's getting 10 million views on whatever it is, that person fits nicely into what America wants. They fit right into what this capitalist system wants. Those people who have the suppression on them, we are the true opposition. We are the folks who are going to actually call out the truth. The truth rests in those of us who are the most suppressed, period.
Yeah. And that's why we have to continue to move forward. And every time Donald Trump does something like this, yes, protect your mind. I love yesterday that Black people who are content creators decided to create spaces for people in that time to not be consumed with the stuff. I'm one of the people who watch it so I could break it down for you on today. Donald Trump's exploitation of people and his lies about what's really going on, and him pushing police officers to the forefront for protection because a police officer was murdered, and saying that anybody who attacks police officers will immediately be dealt with. Court of law. It doesn't matter who you are. You will immediately be dealt with. And that is something that we should look at as a threat for sure. when a police officer comes at you and you try to defend yourself, dealt with, and not the police officer, but you. And they already do that today. They murder people and get away with it. George Floyd was something that led to what was supposed to be a Black revolution that was quieted within 2 years.
Listen,
and they were back to normal.
Listen, they're not back.
Go ahead, Ben.
They're not really back to normal, though, Rebecca. I wonder how many people understand that literally, I would say probably 75%, pulling a stat out of the air, of what we're going through right now is a direct reaction to how we protested on behalf of George Floyd. Mm-hmm. When those in power, thank you, the Lord grabbed that word back. When they saw how the world united behind the idea that we are not going to sit back and watch this man do this to George Floyd and we don't sound off. I mean, you had Black folks all over the world. You had white folks all over the world. The reaction was so big and so powerful. And the reason I'm saying this is just yesterday, Elon Musk retweeted, and it's funny. What is our Cardi B's ex-husband or husband? I don't even know their status.
Offset
tweeted about this. He called Elon Musk a racist bitch because Elon Musk is retweeting pardonDerekChauvin.com. Elon Musk has taken
whoa. Offset
did pull it up for you, guys. I just retweeted. I just saw it. So yesterday, Elon Musk tweeted out and retweeted a website about pardoning Derek Chauvin.
Okay.
Put this in context with every single year, they all go above and beyond. Forget every year, every day they go above and beyond to attack George Floyd and to attack the protesters who protested on behalf of George Floyd, right? Yeah. And so yesterday, this is a tweet. Let me share it with you on the screen now. Everybody can see what I'm talking about. Yesterday, Elon Musk sent out a tweet supporting the idea that America needs to pardon. Here it is. Needs to pardon Derek Chauvin. So Offset called him a racist bitch for sharing that tweet.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. They have invested so much into destroying the idea of what happened in 2020. They have invested so much. They have overturned this government. This helped Donald Trump get elected again. All of their cards are in on destroying the energy that people had in response to George Floyd. And it's all the way up to yesterday. It's funny when you mentioned it. Just yesterday, Elon Musk is now promoting the website to get Derek Chauvin pardoned for what he did. And I was surprised. I saw Offset said something.
Yeah, Offset. I mean, as much as I don't like how he treat, that's another story for another day. But this is true. Simply saying racist bitch. He's talking about Elon playing in Black folks' faces. He's talking about he's driving a Ferrari and not a Tesla.
I didn't even read that one.
Why Black folks gotta add? Like, why that had to be added there? Why? That's why I'm driving a Ferrari and not a Tesla. So that's what I have to say. This right here, it does show, though, all jokes aside, it does show that, Ben, that's a great point. And I think that somebody needs to talk about it. It might need to be you. But the fact that we had the audacity to actually do an actual uprising.
Yes.
In that time. And they said, let us become an ally with these people for 2 years. And let us make the candles that smell like watermelon, collard greens. Let us serve watermelons and collard greens, cornbread, fried chicken at IKEA while they're shopping, because we got to keep our Black customers. Remember that? Let us head over to the Black caucus as white folks, the whitest ones that are in leadership in this country, and tell them, what do we need to do? And they said, Kente cloth. This is what happened when they said that they would be our allies. After that, we haven't heard a thing. We saw the rollbacks, and this is before Donald Trump came into office. This is before Elon Musk started skating his way into the White House. They had rolled back on their own because DEI, all of a sudden, now they wanted to highlight when we had the audacity to have an uprising and stand outside with our mask on and get shot with rubber bullets. I saw in my predominantly white town, when I first moved here, there were not much Black people at all. There were a handful of us. I saw a man and his daughter, his 4-year-old daughter, as the only people on the corner with a Black Lives Matter sign. And across the street was nothing but a sea of people for Trump, for Donald Trump. And this was all because we were saying that what happened to George Floyd was wrong. And all of a sudden, because we had the uprising, and because we were outside protesting almost every single day in every single city, and because they painted Black Lives Matter over there in DC on the ground, and because people were getting together and raising money and starting organizations and getting and a lot of journalists who were fired from their jobs, like us, for speaking up too much about the actual Black issues instead of just Donald Trump picking his wedgie or going to play golf, were muted. This was their time to start picking up their microphones, to start talking about the issues at hand and create Black spaces for people to go get their news. All of a sudden, we saw Netflix and HBO and all these major news networks. What were they doing? They were making Black rooms. The DEI, Blacks in DEI was now highlighted. They were making Black opportunities. It wasn't just one Black person in the corner no more. They were given actual teams to hold down the DEI. Finally, for the first time in diversity, equity, and inclusion, Black people came to the front for these companies. Abby Phillips got her job because what happened? She had the audacity to speak up on CNN. And because of the certain climate, Black people were revolting. Right? Because of the certain climate at the time, they was like, we can't afford to look crazy. Give Abby her own show. Even though she deserves it, they wasn't losing her. Not in that time. We saw Joy Ann Reid, who got her in 2020. She also was a person who got the show at MSNBC. The first Black person on that network, primetime. Then you got Tiffany Cross, who came in same year with Joy Ann Reid. And I'm going to do an actual episode on this. It's coming out this week. Stay tuned for it because I'm going to go down the list of MSNBC's history with Black women in them spaces. But you had Tiffany Cross who got on there. They didn't even let her show last past 2023. 22, I want to say, end of 2022. Even though her show was growing as well. All of a sudden, they no longer needed your voice when they said, you know what? We really don't want it. It's not good for the brand. The Black History section in Target, which I love. I got this shirt from it. This was like 2 years ago. And the Black History section for designers, creators who never probably would get the opportunity in another lifetime. But because of Black people revolting and the big box companies thought we need to go ahead and do what? Say we're allies, but actually capitalize off of Black pain and Black struggle. And that's what we saw happening in that moment. But once they were done with us, everything began to go back to the norm of, I don't even think it's normal before that. They are on full throttle. They are literally on go with racism.
Oh,
they've removed. I walked into this my Target. Go into the Target. They put the Black people stuff way yonder. Usually you'll see it, at least they don't care in the front. I know that white folks was going in and punching down signs. It wasn't only LGBTQIA plus signs. Black folk stuff was getting pushed around. They were making content within the stores, saying, what the hell is this? Breaking items, doing all the things. And mind you, again, these were the only opportunities some of these Black creators, designers, all of them had to even have their stuff in these type of stores. And here we are. And now they're saying, you know what? Our stakeholder said that it's a little messy. So, and people are suing us because we thought that being inclusive was going to trend. So they had to roll it back. And now they're suing for the rollback because they lost money for the rollback for having audacity. But it wasn't. It was literally capitalizing. And this is what you guys have to understand. All of this capitalizing off of Black pain and not actually being allies is showing up. HBO canceling shows, Netflix having their Black voices and firing all the people that were literally in the Black voices space. Firing that whole thing. Twitter having the whole Black Twitter section within the offices. And Elon Musk comes in and removes it all and demands that they come back to the office and removes all of the Black Twitter, which is literally what made Twitter what it is.
Right. Listen, the techniques that MAGA is using right now, the techniques that they use to get Donald Trump elected, all of the organizing that they do, that MAGA even figured out, oh, wait a minute, you mean to tell me we can boycott people? And then they use Twitter to boycott Target, and they use Twitter to boycott Budweiser. Literally, one for one, took every single technique that Black Twitter was on the front edge of. Like they set the precedent. We created that. Like all of us collectively created Twitter, and Elon Musk was like, "Oh, this is good. Let me colonize that." And this is how we are where we are right now.
Yep. You know, Ben. They colonized it. And here, I'm going to say this, just like I talk about the Democrats and the Republicans, they colonized it. And then here go Black folks who are getting the opportunity to do the same thing. Yet we online and not even in one accord. We're the ones that created the blueprint. But now we act like we don't know how it goes. All we want to do is criticize. That is exactly what they want us to do. They're dividing us, conquering these different groups of people.
Listen, go ahead. They send a few coins over here to Negro number one. And then a few coins over here to Negro number two. You get Negro number one, number two, and you amplify them in the algorithm, Tariq Nasheed. You amplify them to do the dividing and conquering that's necessary to keep Black folks from doing it again. Yep. Like, listen, the only reason we're fragmented right now is because in 2020, they saw how absolutely ferocious we were and precise we were in our organizing and using digital technology. And they said, oh, hell no, we're not letting this happen again. And so what do? They buy Twitter. They turn all over the keys over to white MAGA. And when they do, they send a couple dollars here and there, and then they put up all these Black faces to divide the diaspora, to divide us just amongst Black Americans. I mean, Black Americans born in America through the descendants of slavery. There's like 4 different organizations now dividing the Black Americans.
Every day a new organization. Yeah.
Every day there's a new organization saying, oh no, we're the official organization of Black folks that were descendants of slaves, right? All of that is the same exact technique that colonizers have been using since 1619 and before. I'm sorry. They were doing this in the Roman Empire. They've been doing this since they ever had power.
Meanwhile, in every country, there's Black people that are settled there or that are there because they were brought there as slaves, enslaved folks. Everybody is a descendant of a slave. Okay? If you didn't come here on your own, your family didn't pick up for the first generation, they come here on their own. Descendants of slaves, just in another country. I know you call yourselves American descendants of slaves, or excuse me, African descendants of slaves. Is that what it has been?
As American descendants of slaves.
American descendants. I don't even know, because I be seeing it in
many different variations of it. It's different variations of it.
So I didn't say, what's the point? We're all that. And listen, we are all the same when they look at us. And I get it, because when sometimes I look at white people, I feel like I've seen that white person 10 times today. But they're all the same. They think that we're all the same. I ain't mad at that part of it. But when they treat us a certain kind of way, we are all the same. They don't care. It's just more razzle dazzle when you start speaking another language to them. It is more razzle dazzle when you on cue, when you on beat, when you know how to hold a sentence, when you are very intelligent. It's razzle dazzle to them, because Black people are one thing, and that is inferior. When they see you, when they hear you, when you move in any kind of way, when you're at that job, When you're in that neighborhood, you are inferior to the white neighbor, to the white colleague. You are inferior to them. And that's why when we have opportunity to go into the white dominated spaces, which is majority of the spaces in America, globally, but we're going to just talk about it nationally right now. When we go into these white dominated spaces as Black people in 2025, when we go in there with Black joy or with our just being ourselves, with our intelligent people, educated people, we are the most, Black women are really the most educated people in America. College degrees and above, Black women. But they don't want to talk about that portion of it. When they talk about the violence that goes on in America, they don't want to talk about the most violence that goes on in America. Of course, it's from white people, white on white. And this is not me trying to be some kind of woke, indoctrinated conversation, because JD Vance hates that. It makes him get crazy. This is truth. But they don't want to give it that way. They have to give it in a way to say immigrants are the problem, because this many immigrants compared to this many white people have attacked this American. Meanwhile, white people are attacking themselves. They're attacking immigrants. They're attacking Black people who are Americans, but it doesn't matter when a white person attacks a Black person. It doesn't matter when a police officer is murdering Black people at an alarming rate than Black people are even touching officers, breathing officers' ways. What matters is to tell the people that one officer was shot down, and because of that, we're going to create a law underneath the wife's name, or the police officer who was down, to make sure that anybody who attacks an officer will go to jail or be dealt with in the court of law promptly. Any immigrant who decides to do anything to anyone, it doesn't matter your age. You could be a baby. You can be whatever, 100 years old. And if somebody accuses you of doing something, or if you are found to do something illegally here in the United States, you're going down. Who knows what that will be? But you're going down. Donald Trump said it. He said it yesterday. And thank you, Laura. Mean it. But, those are the type of things that we are dealing with right now. Do not be fooled. Do not be fooled not to shine your Blackness. I almost, y'all hear me all the time. I tell you my stories about me just being Black in this predominantly white city that I live in. Yes, I live in the metro area of Atlanta, but I am in the outskirts where whites only activity was happening in 2020. Now, since it's become more of a mixture, because people have been moving away from the city, they're running away from the city of Atlanta, but, and finding somewhere for them to stay that feels safe. Yet I'm pretty sure they're coming here and seeing what I seen when I first moved here. But me wanting to take down my Haitian flag out of my vehicle because Haitians being highlighted for whatever reason as the face of immigrants that are unwanted in America, as the face of immigrants that are dangerous in America, as the face of problematic immigrants, period, in America. Just the Black immigrant who's at the lowest of the totem pole when it comes to the immigrant. Haitians. I was like, let me living in the city where they drive F-150s and Durangos and all kinds of vehicles and ride horses down the street. Yes, they do. Where I live, that's what they do. And let me take this Haitian flag out of my car. I roll up to the red light every day, looking over at people staring at me like I got 6 horns coming out my head because of my Haitian flag, because of the tag on the back of my car says HBCU grad, like things of that sort. I cannot be afraid to live in my truth or my Blackness, or even as a Haitian American journalist who focuses on politics. They're going to try to quiet our voices. They're going to try to make us feel like we can't not naturally be who we are. And it offends them for us to be this way. That's why when I would really look, Bing, if you can really get that clip, while I fix my camera, the one where they were yelling Al Green and they were singing nah 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 hey goodbye, because I want y'all to hear what your leadership was saying on that side of the room. They were saying so many different, get him out of here. This is y'all leader. He doesn't deserve to stay here. And I swear I could have said, I heard him say it, Ben. I heard him say it. I heard them call him something.
Let's try. Let's see if we can make this one work here, because it's been playing with our emotions today.
Yeah.
We'll get Rebecca back here in a second. Here is Al Green as he is being escorted out. This one actually has better audio. You could hear him better in this audio as well. Let's listen.
Perfect.
Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
He started.
He said, "Oh, y'all."
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat.
Was that Congresswoman Crockett sitting there?
Yeah, she should have got right on up with him.
I thought
she did, but she did get up and leave later. I'll give her that. But that was the moment for me.
Yeah.
That's the moment to get up.
Why
and leave.
does my camera keep going out? Look, let me handle my camera situation. But no, I thought she said she wasn't gonna be there in her dancing video or however it was.
She went and walked out in the middle of his speech. So but
you see what I'm saying? The performative we can't do it that way. And I love Representative Crockett. I believe she's one of the realer ones. I believe Representative Al Green, he doesn't come for performance. He's coming to be like, I'm shutting this down. Yeah. I'm shutting it down. I have something. I know I'm fighting for this one part of it, but I don't care. I can't sit here in this whole situation and sit here and allow them to play in my face. Y'all with these stupid little things, save Medicaid, Musk steals. You're holding it up. You ain't to those people bought buses out on January 6th. They bought buses out on January 6th for them to break into your offices. And you're sitting here silently watching this man say things that are untrue, and you're holding up stupid little circle signs wearing pink. It's performative. Stand up and say something. Let them walk you out. But you'll be going down the history for making sure that you disrupted that room for a good reason.
That's right.
Like they disrupted your lives on January 6th. They didn't care.
Look. I think you framed it perfect at the very beginning of the show. Democrats are acting like it's 2016. MAGA, and this is a sad statement, right? One thing I have to give them though, MAGA has always been on the cutting edge of technology in their fight. What was the name of that company? And you covered it too, but it was so long ago, I can't remember it. I don't know if you remember it. When Donald Trump in 2016, the way he won, Cambridge Analytica came back to me. They were on the cutting edge of all of those apps that used to be on Facebook where you would click on it and take a little survey and then it take all your data and give it to like Donald Trump's campaign. They mastered that in 2016.
I remember.
At a level that Democrats were still trying to figure out in 2018 in the midterms, right? And so now Democrats are still doing performative stuff from 2016 while Republicans have said, oh, hey, we need to buy Twitter. We need to divide and conquer. We need to make sure that algorithm is on our side. We need to build our own YouTube channel called Rumble. They went and did everything in the infrastructure that they could do to promote their messages. Meanwhile, Democrats are doing
nothing. I'm sorry. It was cute when y'all wanted to do bipartisan. I remember it was the whole bipartisan stuff under Joe Biden, but before we covered those 4 years, we covered the first 4 years of Donald Trump. And we were trying to play it, where let's just make sure we get out the news. Let's just make sure we do all this. And we were watching these Democratic leaders not be as fierce as some of them are today, actually, but they were riding, they were coasting, thinking that this was just going to be 4 years. And if we go in with that mindset, this 4 years, this go around, we're going to have nothing. Look as they sit down, thinking that they're sitting down in unison for some kind of demonstration. You ain't demonstrated nothing but that you weak. The Democratic side has only gave weakness. They've only going to be given weakness. And the more they allow those cracks to open, Donald Trump and friends will move right in. They'll move right in, seal it up and say that this has always been their foundation. So, and the Democrats are allowing this to happen. This man is fragile, but not at heart.
Not at heart at all.
Not at heart.
Got more heart than everybody in that room. That man got more spine than everybody in that room combined. Like, and the cane, pointing the cane. I think
he made sure that gold pimp cane was headed towards them people. And then it was funny when when a Black person goes something like this, that means until you do right by me.
And he pointed at all of them. He said,
every
one of y'all. Every one of y'all can get it.
He said, listen, all of y'all. Okay. He wasn't afraid. He wasn't as his colleagues sat there. Y'all sitting there because of decorum. This man is sitting there telling you guys lies, stripping you guys of what, speaking to you guys any kind of way. Not in secret, in real time, in this State of the Union. And you guys are thinking that it's okay to just sit there, pull up in your pink. What did that do?
Why are they not even cheering him on?
They're literally sitting there. Even my good sis Jasmine, love her so much, but as much as she is big, and what did she remember? She tell Elon Musk to F off, and that was the statement that took the internet by storm. This is not going to get us things done. We all feel that way. It's not surprising to me that these politicians cuss anymore. It's not a soundbite to me that they do though. It's not. I think Jasmine. Yeah,
Rebecca, this is why we ain't got no friends. Rebecca, we ain't got nail friends in the Democratic Party. It'd be so funny when people are like, oh, y'all are Democratic shills. The one we love the most in the Democratic Party, we talking about her right now.
Yeah,
Queen. I be in her mentions, just posting up, just taking all. I go in there. She
like,
say
Queen, you drop this, it be a crown. Cause
look, I be in her mentions and telling MAGA, like I call them whatever I got to call them to draw all their hatred. Before you know it, they all attacking me versus her. Whenever I decide to do that, right? So I love Jasmine Crockett, but this energy ain't it. This energy is not it. When that man, she should have been on her feet, clapping her hands, stomping her feet, saying, preach, Black man.
The same way that she is when she's, analyzing alongside Abby Phillips. The same way she's shutting things down. The same way when people come up to her, she's not afraid to say F off to Elon Musk. I was looking for that energy because she understands what it's like to be persecuted just coming in as a newbie, right? Just getting in and having to go under this administration when he wasn't even president. She knows this. She knows the energy that Representative Al Green is giving and knows why. Her video on TikTok, I'm sorry, cute, but this is a serious moment. The State of the Union address compared to that video, and for her to be such a strong voice right now, I just expected more. I'm not telling her to hold the Democratic party on her back. I'm not telling her to hold the colleagues on her back. Clearly, Al Green does not. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if he's the only one saying something. And that's what you need to be. Stand up. And if you know he's talking things that are not true, walk out of the room on camera, because they begin to stop showing when they were demonstrating and getting up and walking out one by one. Y'all thought it was going to be on camera. They said, now we're not even going to put that part on camera because Al Green ruined it for y'all. And so y'all all should have got up with Al Green. So that would have been the moment of
everybody should have gotten their butts up and walked out with him. What is the value? This is why we have leaders who are stuck. And this is how we got here, though, right? Let's keep it 100. The reason we got here is because the Democrats have been playing nice with white supremacy. The Democrats have been playing nice with exploitation and capitalism, laissez-faire capitalism. The Democrats have been playing nice with fascism the entire time. Let's be real. Even with what's going on around the globe, what we're facing around the globe is white moderates and white liberals being like kowtowing or tiptoeing is the word. They're tiptoeing around the real problem. And then this, ain't nothing else to say about it. Like, this is how we got here, because if they don't see the power of this moment and they can't connect with the power of this moment and understand that the righteous thing to do is to get up and walk out. That's the righteous thing to do. Whew, I got nothing for them.
I got nothing for them, man. Listen, y'all have to do better. I believe in some of you Democratic representatives. I'm not upset with you know, some of the Democratic representatives that I do love and I follow, and I think that are actually great for the party. But I don't want you guys to get lost in the things that you've gotten lost in for the past 8 years. We cannot be doing that another time, another term. I don't care who's in office. Democrats, you need to learn to get together and stick together. Everybody is divided. Everybody's worrying about being the most viral person. But you will quickly learn that in this day and age, we're going to pick up and say, hey, now that was cute, but what about this moment? What about this opportunity? What about it? You're standing right in front of him.
To the extent that one of my long-standing theories, I've held this theory since at least I started back in 2014. My long-standing theory is that two things. Number one, you don't get to the height of the presidency. Matter of fact, you really just don't get to the height of being a senator even. You don't get this kind of power in the United States and not be aware of what's going on. You just don't. Democrats, when they're in the presidency, when they have control of Congress and all, they execute with precision. Here, hang on, let me give you more context. Look at how they took down Bernie Sanders time and time again. Look how they stopped him. Democrats organized the most efficient opposition to destroy Bernie Sanders' campaign, and then they get around MAGA and they're like, we don't know what to do, boss. How do we do it? So my theory is this. Part of me believes that they just 100% complicit. At this point, watching Hakeem Jeffries do nothing and say,
and
appeal
that's
to
a
heaven.
big name. We thought was going to do something.
And he said, he's like, you know, we trust God. No, bro, that's my job. That's us, our people.
Thank you.
We trust in God. Brother, you got power and you ain't using it. I think you're complicit. Part of me thinks you're complicit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All these people that run around here, and again, don't let me catch y'all doing this again. Because from what we saw, we giving y'all a lot of grace to show up differently, and other opportunities that are going to be exactly like this. Y'all better show up. Those little black circles that y'all was told, my cup gives a stronger message than them what you call it. Y'all are sitting there and y'all holding up these little signs, save Medicaid, save that. Baby, we already been saying that. They know, save Medicaid. They know that Elon Musk ain't president. They know that Donald Trump don't pay his taxes. If you don't get up and yell something to get you thrown out that room like Jazzy Jeff from Fresh Prince by Uncle Phil, I don't want to hear nothing from you.
How do you do? I don't know why that's so funny to me this morning. You was a visualization queen. You know how to make somebody see a picture, black woman.
That's what, listen, that means you ain't causing enough ruckus for me. You literally know that you took this chair not to be cute and pink, not to have a performative type of demonstration, because those people on the right, they don't even agree with each other. But when they have to stand in front of people, they will make sure their racism is first. Even the black folks that are in that party who are sitting there being called every kind of ER by Donald Trump while he is standing up on that stage. Marco Rubio was told that he might be a little bit of a traitor, but we gonna see. We gonna see on my. Donald Trump is saying this while he's standing there. I don't know. I don't want to regret. I'm not sure, but I think he's going to be great, but I don't really know. And you can see Marco Rubio's soul leave his body, but he still got up and clapped
and did his part.
He still did his part. That party does their part. They stand up, they come together, they do all these things, they sing the songs, they kumbaya, they collect their check, and they move past go. Y'all on this side, y'all don't know where you're going. Y'all struggling. Y'all playing tug of war, on the same side playing tug of war. How is that possible? I don't know. That's because some of y'all are really complicit. I don't believe everybody in that room is complicit, but I do believe that they think that this is the time to still use decorum. Those people literally were singing na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye.
Talking about decorum. Hands Up Inc. 10. I'm gonna say 10. No, it's X. I know it's X. I'm just messing with you. 420. Shout out. This is a word. I think this is a word that actually addresses your issue, Rebecca, as well as mine. The reason some people have power is because they'll never use it. And them niggas know if we ever had an inkling. Look at how much influence we got, and we ain't got like literally no power, Rebecca. Like we stay a thorn in the side of the American empire. They have to address, every now and then they come around like, will this preacher go away? But like, who is this Haitian lady? They're like, and this is us without power. Imagine if we had a modicum of power, and that's why they make sure Democrats as well. I don't care what nobody say. Listen. I will vote for a Democrat to stop fascists from getting the power. Yes, that's it. Because at the end of the day, they don't got no more love for you or me than we got for them, because we know they got power. And this is the only way I'm going to say it from now on. They got power because they won't use it.
Oh, my God. And this is who we're voting into office. You think that these people are about to stand up for you? They over here doing all this performative mess on the internet. And this ain't everybody. Again, I am giving Jasmine Crockett the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving our brother that you mentioned, what's his name?
Hakeem Jeffries?
Yes, the benefit.
I don't know if I got no more doubt to give him.
I'm giving them all from this day forward. Market. I said it on on March 5th on Wednesday. I'm saying it on today. I'm giving all of them benefit of the doubt because I want them to watch themselves back. Because since everybody loves the performativeness, that I want them to watch themselves back and look at how Al Green was willing to get escorted out. And he wasn't even screaming. All he did was state, hey, that ain't a mandate. That is not he didn't care. And he looked over by himself as his colleagues watched.
Come on.
As his colleagues watched. I want them to replay that. Look at, he's the only one standing. He's willing to take one for the team.
And you know this takes a lot for me, but God bless FAMU for producing this black man right here. That's a strike, and strike again, black man, because forever, I don't care what happens to this empire. It was a black man from FAMU, by the way, Bethune-Cookman.
It's okay to
I couldn't even do it all. I couldn't even finish the statement for real. You know, I love it. Was a black man who stood up and looked Hitler in his face and said, no. We did our part. We did our part. And that's the rest is America's going to be what it's going to be. But I still wouldn't give Hakeem Jeffries a bit of the doubt, Rebecca. I personally can't.
Yeah, no, I'm giving them all. I'm giving them all because they have the rest of these years to get it right. But I want them to watch themselves back and to be embarrassed about this moment.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to question them on mainstream media because, that's where they go sit down and speak. So I don't know who's going to question them on mainstream media, but these are the same people when they're sitting down and being analysts, political analysts, as our leaders, and they're sitting down on shows with Abby Phillips to be political analysts. They're challenging other people to do the same thing that we asked of them yesterday evening. You don't get to tell people to do that and turn around when it's your time for us to see you do nothing. I will not stand for it. Hell no.
We will not have it all.
We will not have it all. I was looking at the video that we did, and I was like, what was it? The colonizer comment? I forgot what that was.
What did you say? You say, we're not having it. We're not having it.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna pull that up. We're gonna play that on next on this Saturday. We get together this Saturday. But listen, we're at the end of the show. I really wanted to go into Zelensky, but we'll save room for that on this Saturday because I'm pretty sure from Wednesday, which is today, all the way down to Saturday morning, so much is gonna be impacted. But we'll start the show with Donald Trump's disrespectful encounter conversation with Zelensky and from Ukraine, and how he spoke with disregard to another leader and lets us know where he stands. And we already know Russia's going to be live front and center soon and very soon.
We are now the United States of Russia. We are we make up the US of the USSR. Yeah, I know it's a difference. Just a play on words. Here, let's give these shout outs real quick before we go. Tiger, thank you so much for your super chat saying something about Trump announcing the takedown act concerns me. I'm going to be keeping my eye on this thing. I think they're going to abuse it. I agree. Laura Strada, thank you for the $5. Grand Rising friends, go to Bible study tonight. Pastor Ben is on fire. Let me share. I'm glad she said I'm going to come back and share what I'm sharing tonight because oh Lord, we're going to pray for them batteries or whatever.
I know.
Tonight I'm talking about the great deception from the book of 2 Thessalonians. Rebecca, when you hear this scripture, you're going to be like, wait a minute, this is literally one for one what we're dealing with. So we're going to deal with that tonight.
Ooh, and they ain't preaching from Thessalonians no more, Ben.
They ain't preaching. They don't preach. Yes, they do.
Thessalonians no more, Ben. So you better do what God told you to do because somebody got to hear it. I'm ready to hear it. I can't wait to hear it.
Here we go. Super Tinker from Tinker. Thank you so much, Tinker. Thank you for that. Rocks 1SMF, $5 saying, thank you for the $5 saying, I'm busy with morning chores, but listening and wanted to send you all both some love. Stay safe. Well, do good. Hashtag FTP. I believe it there.
F these people.
Yeah. That too. Laura sent another $2. Thank you, Laura. Becca, we'd follow you all to the moon and
I love
back.
you so much, Laura. Thank you.
My Duke said, thank you for the $2. It said, we the people won't survive 4 years of this. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong, but I absolutely, the trajectory that we're on, you might not be wrong. Prairie Fryer, $1.99. Thank you. Long live the Republic, down with the oligarchy. That's what I'm talking about. That's the energy. Sent another $2. Al Green equals American patriot. Trump is a nationalist. Thank you for that addition. This is from Jose Kelly. I love you both. May God put his hands around us and protect us from your fingers typing it to God's ears, anthropomorphized ears, because God doesn't have ears. But that said, that's it, Rebecca.
No, I mean, look, that's all. So y'all weren't able to send me super chaps because they did not, they took away my monetization. But if you do want to still tip your host that does the most, it's Becca's Voice on Cash App. And then we have Rebecca Azor at gmail.com on PayPal. And I am on Patreon. Haven't posted there in a while, but please continue to support because I got some good things coming for y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I recorded 3 videos. So that means I got some things coming out for y'all. Other than that, that's just where I'm at with it. Benjamin P. Dixon.
I'm trying to see where your Cash App is so I can share it on the screen. Say it again.
Becca's Voice, BE. It's actually the pinned post. BE. There we go. BECCA SVOICE. That's Becca's Voice on Cash App. So
don't say nothing to mine because I don't even know where that phone is. I
stop sending it to him and sending it to me because Ben, it's packed up. That thing is probably packed up with money. You could probably pay some bills.
It might have some real cash on there.
I think it do. Definitely.
But now too much of my life is dependent on not being connected to that thing like I used to be. Shout out
and you look healthier because of it. I think I need to let it go because I feel like, I'm getting a little bald head.
What they say, your edges are coming back and your
edges. Now
my edges ain't coming back though.
Generically, I ain't never had none right here because I have a widow speak. So God said no for right here, and I'm not losing any. Which thank you to God, but I want to keep the little I got left. So that means, I would love to.
This is another one that just came in from Jonathan. Musk is the dragon and Trump is the beast. Just a fine detail. He's talking about, or they're talking about Revelations chapter 13. Here's why you got to flip it though. Trump is the dragon. Musk is the beast. Because in Revelation 13, it was the dragon that gave the beast his authority and his throne. And so MAGA giving and Donald Trump giving Elon Musk his authority, letting him do Doge, letting him just really do whatever he wants in this country. That's why I would flip. I would flip it around. My memory. I'm just trying to check my memory real quick. Anyway, if I'm wrong, I got it backwards, charge it to my head, not my heart. But either way it goes, your sentiment is absolutely correct.
Yeah. So
all right.
We at the end of it now. I love you guys. Mean it. Mwah. Please support the pages, like, share, subscribe, and if you can, please go ahead and tip your host. Again, Becca's Voice on Cash App. Ben said don't send to his Cash App, but please make sure he does have super chats. Send over to his super chats over to the show. Y'all, we're out of here, and we will see you on Saturday. Ben, it was nice seeing you. We got more for you guys on Saturday. Love you. Mean it. And make sure you follow tonight. Ben is doing.
Yeah, we gonna dig into this great MAGA deception, because I'm sorry, MAGA is spiritual wickedness in high places. We got to call it for what it is. Rebecca, I see you Saturday.
I see you. The work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like it or not, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Yes, it's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show like it or not. Rebecca Azor is in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, a real life ish. I live in life in the ATL.